Yesterday, I forecasted a 1 to 21 risk to reward ratio trade on EURUSD, and it has dropped so far over 1 to 10 risk to reward ratio, but I missed the entry. And let me show you exactly what happened on this particular trade and everything. All right, so make sure you watch to the very end so that you can learn exactly what happened in this video right here. So if you see from here, yesterday I made a forecast right here. You can see I made a forecast where I was looking to actually enter this particular trade from right here. We had a nice QML low, high, and broke off structure to the downside. We also had liquidity right here. So what I was anticipating was the market coming into my area, giving me, preferably I wanted to use a confirmatory entry where we have a shift of market structure on the lower time frame before I can actually get involved, right? So, and once the market came to this area right here, let me show you. So the market beautifully did exactly what it was supposed to do, what I thought it was going to do. So you can see the market was here by the time I was forecasting. I wanted the market to push into this area right here. Let me show you. So the market did exactly that. The market actually pushed in my area, taking out this liquidity which I was looking for it to take out, also taking out the Asian session. However, let me show you this. The market tapped into my area just as I wanted right here. So the market tapped into this area right here. After taking out the Asian session, we tapped into our area, and then just like that, it started to drop without giving me a chance or a change of character for me to be able to confirm this particular entry. And if I had used an aggressive entry, which is one of my favorites to actually do, I'd have caught this particular trade. See what happened right here. So as the market was approaching this level, it was forming higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, right? So this was the last high that was created. So after the market tapped into this area right here, this touch right here, what I wanted was a change of character on the lower time frame. That's all I wanted, right? So given as it was approaching my level, we had a high, low, higher high, and then what did the market do? It broke structure to the downside right here. Okay, and then instead of it pushing back into this area like this, instead of it pushing all the way now into this area, so that you can push to the upside, it didn't do that. It continued to drop to the downside, breaking multiple structures. So this is where I missed. For me, I was waiting for the market to pull back all the way into this area. So I had to put an alert right here so that I can see maybe the market is going to pull back into this area. Unfortunately, it didn't do that. The market just continued to drop to the downside. And then on the other side right here, it had also given me another opportunity, which I only saw later. It gave us another rally based drop right here, put back to this area. So if I was paying attention to this, I would have potentially caught this level from here, but I also missed this level right here. Again, there was another opportunity which would have taken advantage right here, a rally based drop, but it just I didn't really I was so focused on waiting for the market to come back into this area, and then I missed this entry right here. So as the market was pushing to the downside, as it was about to break this level right here, I was like, okay, maybe the market might continue to drop to the downside. Now let me do what? Let me actually enter from here, since we are actually breaking this level right here. So I ended up getting in from here because the market was playing exactly as I wanted. So the market entered from here. We entered from here as a signal. I'll show you in a minute. We entered from here. And then my stop loss was just somewhere above here, right here. And then you can see that the market ended up actually dropping almost like 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, but it was too small for me to be able to actually move my stop loss to break even. And then see what happened? The market ended up going back and taking me out at this level right here. As you can see from our signals community, I was able to actually share this right here. This was the entry, and the market was pushing with big momentum right here. So I was like, okay, let me just try and catch this right here. We entered with the 5 pips stop loss and then 5 pips target, and then the market tried to push in our direction a little bit before the market turned around and actually took us out for a loss right here. As you can see, the market was here. It had dropped from here almost like a 1 hour before reversing and taking us out right there for a loss of a 5 pips stop loss right here, which was really sad. And then after we were taken out, see what happened? The market returned again to this other zone which was left behind. Unfortunately, I wasn't on the market to be able to catch this. And then see what happened? The market has now continued to actually drop in our direction. So if you watched yesterday's video, most likely you'd have caught it if you used the aggressive entry. The confirmatory entry kind of failed me in this particular one, because for me, I was waiting for the market to come back to this area. Why was I waiting for the market to come back there? Let me show you what was happening there. So you can see that the market had left a rally-based drop supply zone with which was a very, very nice order block. So basically, I was looking to just wait for the market to just give me a pullback into this zone. Then I was going to execute this particular trade. However, this is what ended up happening on this particular market. The market never pulled back all the way to my entry right here, so that I could actually wait for a change of character, which had already happened. So I was just basically waiting for a retracement so that I can actually push into my direction. This market did exactly as I thought it was going to do. If you watched yesterday's video, I'm sure you actually caught this, because this is exactly what I was explaining yesterday. I just wanted the market to tap into my area, then drop right here. And so far the market is almost halfway, as you can see from here. It has dropped over 1 to 10 risk reward ratio in profit. And if you had used, or if I had used an aggressive entry where I just wait for a reaction into my area, I would have caught this. And this is the downside to confirmatory entry. Like I said, they both have advantages and disadvantages. So one of the disadvantages for using a confirmatory entry where we wait for the change of character, sometimes that doesn't happen. Like I showed you yesterday, sometimes it doesn't happen, right? Sometimes the market will just tap into your area and then just continue to drop with big momentum candles, and you'll have missed out. All right, and remember, I was waiting for the confirmation on the 1 minute time frame. But even on that particular time frame, the market didn't give me the confirmation that I was waiting for. So I ended up missing out on this trade, and then end up taking a loss because I was trying to actually catch the move to the downside, and that's exactly what happened on this particular trade. It was a bad, it was a bad thing where you analyzed and the market plays out exactly as you've predicted, and then you take a loss on a very, very beautiful trade. However, it's part of the game, and you learn from it and everything. Otherwise, this was a beautiful trade, just proving exactly what I always talk about. Absolutely amazing setup, played out exactly as I would have caught it if I was using an aggressive entry on this particular. Hence, going forward, I'm going to focus much more, because they've worked so much for me. I'm just going to be very aggressive in my entries, and then quick to actually move my stop loss to break even and all that. Otherwise, this is exactly what happened. If you didn't watch the previous video where I was forecasting this, make sure you check it out, because you will learn a lot from this video. And exactly, I talked about why you end up missing a lot of trades because of waiting for all the confirmation, especially where you wait for the market to actually break structure to the downside, change character, and then pull back. Sometimes, most of the times actually, the market will not pull back to that level, and then you'd have been left behind. To be too late, because the top loss is just going to be too big for you to be able to enter. And so that's what happened on this trade right here. Very beautiful trade, went exactly as predicted. However, we end up taking a loss on this particular trade, unfortunately. All right, so it's just my hope that you actually found value in this video. I just wanted to share what happened with today on this particular trade. All right, you guys, until next time, goodbye, see you later.